Wide Web. We want to say good morning to those of you joining us now on GBN television and our social media platforms. It is fantastic to be in your company once more. I've been missing you for a bit, but I'm back. The holidays was fantastic. We're ready to go. And this morning, folks, I have a very, very special lady joining me on the Mid-Morning Buzz. Let me just give you a background as to who she is before I bring her on. We have nurse Deann Scott. She's a registered nurse and a midwife for the last 37 years. She is specialized in health information technology, and she is currently employed as the IT nurse at the General Hospital. She has worked several other places, including the Grenada Planned Parenthood Association as the clinic supervisor and marketing manager. And she has recently launched an online health platform that I know a lot of you are very excited about, especially now, even more so during the COVID period. So, Nurse Scott, we want to welcome you again to the Buzz. It's always a pleasure to have you on the Buzz. I know you started some education on your platform last week with Joseph. So welcome again.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me. And good morning to Grenada, Carrickwood, Martinique.
Fantastic. So, Ekrx, for those of us who missed it last week, just give us a brief synopsis as to how the platform works.
Okay, so Ekrx is a new virtual health and wellness platform designed to take healthcare online and to take healthcare home. And the buzzword here is taking healthcare home, because that's the most unusual and the most radical side of the whole platform, is taking healthcare from what we know it to be, entering into an institution of care, to now virtually having access to healthcare from your very home.
Would you say it was prompted because of the pandemic?
Partly, but this is a work in the making for several years now. But I thought at this point in time is the ideal time to have it launched and ready for use, because there is no time like the present for virtual.
And that is so true. That is so true. So tell us, how does it work? Is there an app, or is it, how exactly does it work?
Okay, so there is an app, but that app is still in testing. So we will not be introducing it just yet, but we have the website, which is www.ekrx.me. So you can go to that website and read up all about it. And when you make a decision and you're ready, you can subscribe to the service. Now, the part of the service that is already launched is the client side of the portal. It's called My Health Portal. So you can find out everything about it on the website. And when you're ready and make a decision, you subscribe to the portal. There's a monthly subscription fee of $39 US to use the portal. But once you enter the portal, you have a new world open up to you. It's your virtual piece of real estate that is all yours. So inside that portal, you are able to manage all of your medical records. And I say here that it is your personal health record. We do know healthcare and health record is something that belongs to the institution, right? But in this scenario, everything that you record within your health portal is your records. You are able to share those records with your medical provider at any time you choose, but the records you generate is your record. And the main reason that we chose the domain name ekrx.me is because we want people to recognize that healthcare is your responsibility. It is about me It is about me staying healthy. It is about me initiating my care. It is about me making sure that my medical conditions, if I have any, are well taken care of and that I can initiate those care right from the comfort of my own home.
Fantastic. So somebody looking on at us right now this morning, I'm going to your website, ecarerx.me. Is there a portal that would take me to a sign-up page? I sign up, I pay, so I have to have credit card in hand. I sign up.
Okay.
I pay the initial $39. And what happens from there? How do I start building that medical record?
Okay, so you will receive a link where you can click to sign up for the portal. And once you click submit, you will enter into your My Health portal. From there, it's an empty book, but you will write the pages of that book with your health information. So first of all, we encourage everyone, there is a health risk assessment that should be taken. It's equivalent to going to your doctor and the doctor asking you a series of questions. So you know that when you go to a doctor, he'll want to find out all of your medical history. And he would ask you a series of questions related to your personal health, your family health, family history, and all of that. Right. So the health risk assessment, once you enter into your portal, you will see a number of beautiful tiles inside of portal. And the first tile is entitled Health Assessment. We are encouraging everyone to take that assessment because it is a number of questions that you will have to answer, but it gives the system a chance to generate the plan of care for you. So just like when you go to your doctor, or just as when you are admitted to hospital or you go to the medical station to see a doctor, the nurse will take all of the information from you. They will ask you a series of questions. That health assessment will take you through a number of questions. Some of them might feel a little personal, but I encourage you to do it all if you can. Some of it might include questions like your cholesterol level and things like that. If you don't have a test done, you can skip some of them until you can get the test done. But it gives the system a chance, after you submit the assessment, to generate in the background what your risks are for diseases, for different lifestyle diseases, and make recommendations to you as to what are the subjects you should pay attention to. And there's a lot inside of that portal that you can educate yourself on, that you can take action on to help improve your state of health and your state of wellness. And it starts with the health risk assessment.
Okay, so first step is a health risk assessment. After we've had that, and probably we're hoping for optimal health, but if we've identified some problem areas, is there another link that will maybe take us to a nurse or a medical professional that will continue providing some support?
There will be, but that side of it is not yet launched because we have not yet launched the medical provider side of it yet. This is the client side of it. But there are a number of things that you can do within that portal. It's an open playing ground when you get in there for your health. There are certain things that you can, certain health risks that based on your employment. So as a nurse, there'll be some things that might be have me prone to injury, and there is that tile there where you can look at injury prevention based on your job or your field of employment. There are other areas where you can look up any health topic, anything that affects you, your medication that you're taking, your diagnosis, your everything. You can look up that. There are other areas where there's a wellness side, as I talked about it last week. There is the medical side and there is a wellness side. In the wellness side, you have connection there to the website where you can learn how to prepare healthy diet. I mean, there is just everything inside there. Once you get in there, it is your virtual playing ground for managing your health and your wellness. But on top of all that, there is an area where you can sync your fitness device. So if you have a Fitbit like me, or you have an Apple Watch, or you have the Apple Health app, or any of those apps, you can sync it within the portal. So then it pulls in all of your steps, all of your fitness things that you have been tracking on your fitness tracker. It can pull all of that data in. Now, this helps your medical provider to make more informed decisions about you and help you to know your status and what you need to do in order to stay healthy. So if, according to your initial assessment, when you did the health risk assessment, that you are at risk for high blood pressure, and that risk could be calculated from your family history. So if your mom or your dad had high blood pressure or diabetes or any of those, your assessment will pull all of that in and let you know that you have to adjust your lifestyle to suit. And it will suggest all of the different things that you can do. This portal makes sure that it caters for the individual. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. It is based on your individual assessment, just like if you went to a doctor and they did your history, they took your history from you, and they make a diagnosis and decide to treat you based on your risks that you're presenting with or the risks that can be anticipated down the line. So there is the serious side of healthcare within your portal, and I'm encouraging everybody to make it theirs. That's yours. That's the whole point behind Ekrx.me. And that was deliberate. I deliberately chose that domain name because I wanted to make sure that when you get into your portal, you remember this is your health. This is your body. Any disease that you're diagnosed with is your responsibility to stay on top of things. Watching your diet, exercising, doing everything that it takes to stay healthy in this time of global pandemic.
Fantastic. I'm sure people are excited, and I'll branch off into the COVID part, because I know with people being asked to isolate themselves, and so some may be thinking this may be a good app that I can go on to track what's going on with my care and so on, and hopefully get back to full recovery. But security-wise, who sees the information that is inputted into the system?
Your information is totally private to you. I don't even have access to it. The platform is fully HIPAA compliant, and Ekrx as a company is in the process of becoming HIPAA compliant. So your information that is in your portal can only be shared with me as a medical provider if I have to provide service for you as a nurse or as a doctor. As a nurse, if I have to provide service to you. But generally, I do not have access to your portal. You can share your portal with your medical providers, and that's the only way they would have access to your information. At the same time, your doctors can share your medical record or parts of your medical record with you, and you are able to upload these results and so on into your portal. So you do lab tests, or you do X-ray tests, or you do any of those tests, you can upload a copy of this into your portal so you always have a record of your tests that you've done or whatever diagnosis or whatever treatment that you receive. Even your prescriptions, you can make a copy and upload it into your portal. So that way, your medical provider has a full view of your health. If you have to travel and have to see a doctor, you know how it is going to be. They don't know anything about your medical history. And therefore, they will have to do a whole set of tests for you that probably you have just done home and doesn't need to. But because they don't know your history, they don't have anything on you, then you'll have to spend extra money to do those tests. But if you have everything uploaded in your portal, you can share with your doctor, I did this test and this was the results, and this is the treatment that I received. And this is how I'm managing my vital signs, my blood pressure, my blood sugar. This is what it was last week. This is what it is today. You know, generally, if you're diabetic or hypertensive, you would go to the clinics and check. You have a little book and you check your blood pressure, write it down in a book with a date every day and to go and show your nurse. Or your blood sugar, if you have a machine at home and you can check it, then you record it in a little book so you can show your doctor when you go to clinic. Right. So this is the equivalent of your little book, only that little book goes with you anywhere you go, any part of the world you are. It does not get wet and it cannot be lost. Right? This is your information that stays with you and is accessible to those that you want to give permission to see.
After we've built that data file, is there any way that it can generate a report for us if we want to pull it from the system?
That's right. Very good question. After you have submitted your health assessment, it can generate a report for you that you can print out and share with your doctor, or you can see the whole assessment online. It is color-coded so you can see what you are at risk for. So depending on your history, your family history, your personal history, your lifestyle, it will tell you what conditions you're at risk for, what you are safe from, and what you should be careful about. So it shows you in a color-coded way which are the things that you have to look at. And it then provides you with the means for you to learn more about your condition, learn more about how to prevent it, and how to stay safe.
Okay. When I ask about the security, I know people have a lot of security concerns. They want to make sure the information is private and so. But I'm also thinking if I'm going online and I'm inputting my medical information in the site and I'm building a portfolio, if there are red lights, I was hoping maybe you as a nurse would see it and probably say, okay, we need to, probably reach out to this client, make sure they probably see a doctor sooner rather than later, because some people might still, get information and not act on it. Is there any way that can happen?
Okay, so your portal is only for you to manage your health information. It does not give you the right to not see a doctor or to not listen to your body if it's telling you something, right? If you get up this morning and you're not feeling well, you know that you need to see a doctor about it. Now, the portal gives you the ability, when the medical side comes on, to be able to go online and look to see who doctors are available and see a doctor there, right? But until that is possible, until that is available, you still need to see your doctor. And in many cases, you still need to have a physical examination by your doctor. It does not replace the physical examination. It only makes it easier for you and your doctor to manage your condition, because what you are doing is not by yourself. It is still in collaboration with your medical providers. So whoever doctor you used to see, you still continue to see that doctor. You still continue to follow the orders of the doctor and do what is recommended for you to do. The portal only gives you the opportunity to record all of your data inside of there, so you have a 360 degree of your health, so that it's no longer you go to the health center, you have a piece of file in the health center. You go to the hospital, you have some files in the health center. You go to the private doctor, they have some files on you by the private doctor. Yes, unless all of the Ministry of Health systems are become paperless, this will continue to be. But your portal gives you a chance to pull all of these data into one place, so that your doctor and whoever else you would be given permission to see your information can have a 360 degree of your health. And the whole lead up to everything, to this portal, is a story that I call Journey to Paperless. And it is a journey that started way back when I started nursing started as a student nurse back at the School of Nursing. It was a dream, started as a dream, just merely a dream, wishing that I can do something for the furtherance of healthcare and for the promotion of nursing. And that started as a dream when we were looking at the history of nursing. When I learned about Florence Nightingale and Mary C. Cole, it triggered off something fantastic inside of me, especially Mary C. Cole being a Jamaican nurse, hitting close to home. And I'm thinking, if she's right there, so close to us in our region, and she was able to make some sort of contribution to healthcare and go down in history, I think I can do that too. But how? Back then, as a student, I had no idea, absolutely no idea how I can do that. All I know is that I wanted to, and that desire lingered on through all the years. But during the 2006, at that time, I started feeling an extreme urge to learn technology. I just wanted to know more. And so I took a trip to India where I did some courses in computer networking. And it is during those times when I was studying, I began to think, but maybe that is the area I can make some contribution in. But I had no idea, I have no clue how. So when I came back home from India, I decided to go on an all-out search. I decided to attend several conferences that were hosted in the United States, to visit the showrooms and see the technologies that existed then. When I came back, I decided to pull all my nursing colleagues together with all the excitement that I came back with to show them all of the technologies that are available. And that was back in 2007, right? There were all this technology available for healthcare. And I remember how excited my colleagues were when they saw, I did a video show and showed them all the different technology. They were so excited. And that's where the journey to paperless began to take up some sort of momentum. So I continued my studies throughout the years. I decided to do some further courses in health information technology to prepare myself for such a day as today. Because when I made application to the Ministry of Health for a study leave to do technology, that didn't seem to be anything that, would concern the Ministry of Health at the time. In fact, only yesterday I found my letter that I had stored away there that I got from the ministry saying, at this time, nurse, we are not able to facilitate you because we don't see how healthcare is going to benefit from technology. I was so surprised. Yesterday I was searching through my papers and I found it. And I said, yes, thank you, Jesus. This reminds me, a journey to paperless is here.
Wow. But you really were ahead of your time. And I think you're such an inspiration, because I mean, you probably didn't even foresee where that innovation would lead, and I mean that is really an inspiration for people to follow their dreams. And now we're seeing the marriage of healthcare and technology, and you were launching in the midst of a pandemic when everything, including healthcare, is being done remotely. So I'm sure you're saying, God, I mean, look at what you did. Quite a journey.
Yeah, I saw it as a pregnancy that I became pregnant during that time with that idea. That pregnancy lasted for 37 years, and now is the birth of that beautiful thing that is called healthcare online, virtual healthcare. I am proud to give birth to that baby. I'm really happy to do so. But, Janelle, it took a lot out of me over those years. And in fact, I got into serious trouble over the years trying to push something that no one could have seen has any relevance to what I was trying to do. In fact, for that matter, I lost my job, and for 9 years I'd been out of the service.
What?
Yep. For 9 years, I'd been out of the service, wondering, Lord, 25 years of my life have gone down the drain. Now I don't know where I'm going. But in 2017, God began to turn things around. I won my case against the public service, and then I was reinstated back into nursing. So at that very time, in 2018, 1 year later, I was reinstated back into nursing, back into my position, and I was placed back at the General Hospital. Only this time I was allowed to do what I always wanted to do and be involved in technology. So now I'm there as the IT nurse. And I'm saying, God, thank you, Jesus, because during those times you're walking around blinded. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what. You know your heart is driving you to do something, but you cannot see why and where it's going to take you. And everything seems to be just looking so on the negative side. And, you wonder how lonely you are during those times because you don't have anybody who shares that dream with you.
That's almost like no one there.
Yeah. Until God turns the key. And when God turns the key, honey, no one could lock back that door that he has unlocked. So I told Joseph last week that this is my field of dreams. And I'm going on the premise that if you build it, they will come. Unfortunately, at this point in time, I do not have the blessings of the Ministry of Health just yet. And I'm saying just yet because I am fully positive that they will come on board. Yeah.
I am too. And we've seen recently, I don't know how far they've gotten, but there have been talks about digitalizing healthcare records. And so I'm sure there will be a marriage of sorts soon enough.
Well, we have been digitizing healthcare to an extent. The medical centers have been using the electronic medical records for a couple of years now. At the hospitals, we are hoping that they can soon bring in medical records there so that we can start digitizing everything. But with this platform and with the introduction of everything paperless, I'm hoping that the disease would catch on just like the coronavirus. It will be ramping through the Ministry of Health and all the powers that he would be infected with.
I don't know if COVID is a synonym I want to use for anything now.
Paperless entry.
Paperless medical care.
There would not be any recovery from that. There will be paperless and remain paperless because that's the era we are in.
Okay, so let's talk COVID now. So just this morning, I think our health minister, the Honorable Nicholas Steele, he announced that unfortunately we've had 4 more deaths for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Sad news. And I'm sure people are anxious and people are saying, I probably thought I had a cold. I probably want to get tested. I want to make sure I get the best health care because we don't want to end up in that position. We want to keep our family safe. Tell us how your platform can help people manage, because people are encouraged, if you have symptoms, stay home, don't go out. So some people are probably not even going and check the doctor as they should. So how can people stay home and utilize your portal to help manage the disease if it is that is what they have?
Okay, the Ministry of Health has put out a number of information out there for people to abide by. There is the general protocols of social distancing, washing your hands, coughing and sneezing etiquette. There are a number of things that you can do to safeguard yourself and others around you. But if you come down with the infection, unfortunately, using the portal is a good way to start managing yourself, managing your wellness. Remember, as I said, it is both the serious side of healthcare within your portal and the wellness side of healthcare, which I call the fun side. Now, when you have a disease like COVID, it's nothing fun, but there are ways to cheer up yourself and make sure, because within the system there is a lot of information that you can get. You can generate a lot of educational information from within the portal. You can educate yourself on the condition. But regardless of what you do not forget or do not neglect to call in to the ministry's hotline and manage your symptoms well, because as a layperson, you may not know when is the right time that you should ramp up the next step of your care. So I advise you, once you're having symptoms that is related to or looks like the cold or is getting worse, you should call the Ministry of Health hotline. If you had not been vaccinated, I encourage you to get vaccinated because it is said that's your best shot. But in addition to all of that, encouraging people to eat healthy, exercise. We are still not in a lockdown, so you have freedom of movement up to a certain time. You can still go and get your walks on mornings. You can still put in the exercise in there, drink a lot of fluid, take your vitamins, eat a well-balanced diet with all of your veggies that you can have. If you have space around your house, start growing some of your vegetables, because during times like these, there could be shortages. And we don't know. This situation is fluid. We don't know how it's going to be. So I encourage everyone to, while you're still healthy, if you're still healthy, start preparing for, eventualities that, we see places closing down. And we saw last year that it was kind of hard to get supplies. And when the places open, there is such long lines. So be smart. We had 1 year of experience behind us to help us deal with that situation. So be smart. Do what you have to do. You can start planting some veggies around your house so that you have your source of minerals and vitamins to nourish your body. If you cannot get the supplies to buy from the supermarket, you have your own. If you are a patient with comorbidities, if you are suffering from, let's say, high blood pressure, sugar, or any of those things, make sure that you have all of your medication with you. Make sure you have your supplies. Go out and get your supplies while we still have freedom of movement. Get your supplies and have enough at home so that you can always control your health based on the doctor's recommendations. But if you are feeling anything different from what you're accustomed to, do not hesitate to call your doctor. Do not hesitate to call the hotline if you find that you're getting symptoms that looks like the cold or looks like it's getting worse. You're getting shortness of breath or you're getting fever or anything like this. Do not neglect to call. Please call. And those of you who can go out and get your vaccination, please do get your vaccination. Right? So these are some of the things that we can do to stay healthy. But I am positive that just as we did well last year, despite the numbers that are rising, in the name of Jesus, I claim full victory over it. As a nation, as a country, we will ride over this storm together and we will smile eventually.
Your lips to God's ears, folks. If you're now joining us, we're chatting this morning with Nurse Deann Scott, the founder and the owner of Ekrx. And again, I'm encouraging you to check out the website, ekrx.me. And she said the ME is for me, because it is all about your health, and you can manage your health online. Nurse Scott, earlier you mentioned that when you returned from studying in, was it 2007, and you spoke to some of your colleagues, they were excited about the information you brought back from your research in India. Did any of them come on this journey with you, or is it a solo project?
It's a totally solo project. What I'm learning about technology is the application of technology is difficult. You know, there's a lot of people who are certified in IT, but to apply the technology to solve a problem, that is not a very usual thing. So it's a skill that seems to be not very prevalent. So being able to marry technology with healthcare, it took some doing, and it took a lot of research. It took a lot of fighting financial lack and all of that to get to where we are right now.
And are you able to manage it solo, or do you need support staff for the project?
No, eventually we will need support staff, but now in the beginning, I'm doing it solo for now. Until we can find or have the financing to expand further.
Okay. And I know you're no stranger to developing website. You developed a domestic violence app a couple years ago. Yeah. Is it still active?
Yes. Yeah, it's not active right now because I didn't continue to maintain it on the app site. But it was developed with domestic abuse in mind. At the time, I was associated with Janelle and the other organizations in collaboration with Grenada Planned Parenthood Association while I was working there. And I saw firsthand what we were dealing with in terms of domestic violence. And I thought I must do something to help. And so I decided to attempt to create an app that would help people to call for help when they are in a situation of domestic violence. And that app I called Protectem, Protectem. It was published in 2013, both as an iOS and an Android app. And the following year, it was nominated by the World of it was nominated for an international award. It went up among over 400 different submissions around the world, and it was shortlisted, for that award. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the final round, but it was eventually named Best in Content for Grenada.
Awesome.
So at least it was an honor just to be nominated.
Indeed, and I mean, I really like your innovative spirit, and as you mentioned, some people did not see the vision, and you've overcome so much to the point of losing your job and being reinstated into the service, and now we see more than ever that a service like the one you're providing is so needed. In general, though, is there any particular risk group that you think should get the app, probably more so than others?
People who have to manage chronic conditions, it's a good idea because it puts you in charge of your condition. I mean, normally we see healthcare as reactive, but this is what this platform is trying to prevent, the reaction of having to wait until you get sick or when your condition gets out of control to go see a doctor. This platform gives you the ability now to continuously monitor your health. And one of the things that we'll be doing and making available is medical device kits. Now, these kits would consist of everything that you need to manage your health from home. So you'd have your blood pressure machine in there, you'd have your pulse oximeter, you'd have a weight scale, you'd even have a health watch because you'll be managing your wellness. Everything that you need to manage your health and to check your vital signs from home would be in that kit. It is not yet available, but we will let the public know when it's available so that they can start ordering the kits. Because when the medical provider side comes on board, it would be nice to be able to check your vital signs so that when you go online to see your doctor, you can already have it in the system that my blood pressure is 120/80, my temperature is 98. And so the doctor can see what your vital signs are because you can check it in advance, or you can continue every day to check your vital signs based on the recommendation of your doctor. Now, this platform is not intended for people to isolate themselves from their doctor. You still would need your medical doctor. You still would need your medical advice. You still would need to stay in touch with your doctor and follow the instructions. But it gives you the flexibility to be able to manage your health from home. So you don't have to wait to go to the health center for the nurse to check your blood pressure because you have your medical kit at home and you'll be able to check your blood pressure at any time. You don't have to wait to go and get your blood sugar tested because your blood sugar kit your blood sugar accessories will be inside of the kit. Everything would be there so that you can manage your health. And if you notice anything unusual, you can call your doctor and say, I checked this morning, my blood pressure was this, and I'm not feeling well. What should I do? Right? Okay. But you are now in charge of your health.
Do you get that kit on the initial sign up?
No, you would have to order it separately. So the initial setup will just be for your My Health portal. It is called My Health portal, because within there you will be able to manage all of your health. So that's the online side of things. The kit is a physical something with all of your medical devices inside of it. So that is something that would have to be ordered separately. But we do not have any in yet. We are still working on the development of the kit and the integration with the portal.
Okay, we look out for that
anybody using the kit, it is what the devices in there would be wireless, Bluetooth enabled, so that for people who have difficulty with technology, it's just a matter of knowing how to put on your blood pressure cuff. You press a button, it checks your blood pressure, and wirelessly sends that information to your portal so that if you don't know how to type it in, you don't have to type it in. It goes in automatically. So that's
awesome.
what the part
Scott, it has been An absolute pleasure chatting with you this morning. We really love your innovation, and we really like the direction you're taking healthcare in Grenada. Next week when we chat again, do you think we can probably, you could probably share your screen with us, and you can probably physically take us through the site so we can become more familiar with it?
That would be lovely. I would love to do that.
Awesome. So we look forward to our next engagement. Thank you so much for sharing with us this morning. And until next week again, before you leave, though, I'm sure people may have questions. Can they reach you via mobile or so?
Yes. You can WhatsApp me or call me on 459-1832 or 534-3927. Both are WhatsApp numbers, so you can get me on WhatsApp or you can call me. And the website, that's where you'll get all of the information, www.ecare, that's CARERX.me. So it's ecarerx.me. And if you need to shoot me an email, you can reach me on info@ekarx.me.
Thank you so much, folks. You have all the contact information, all your questions, and I'm sure some of you probably want to sign up all now. You can do so. Nurse Scott, again, an absolute pleasure having you. And until next week's, God willing, please keep safe. We shall touch base again.
Thank you very much. And all of you, keep safe, follow the protocols, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. And folks, this is where we leave it today. It is 13 minutes on to 12. And as Nurse Scott said, please follow the protocols. Please social distance. Please wear your masks. Wash your hands. Keep safe. Those of you not yet vaccinated, I urge you, you have two choices. You have the Pfizer vaccine, you still have the AstraZeneca. It's available to children, not the AstraZeneca, the Pfizer, available to children from as early as 12 years old. It has proven to be safe, and it offers protection against the dreaded COVID-19 vaccine that is now running amok in Grenada. You need to sort out yourselves. Self-care is important at this time. Exercise, diet, as the nurse highlighted, it's a combination of efforts to fight the disease. I'm sure you know what to do. The healthcare professionals have been pounding it in for weeks. But I'll leave you here. Keep safe. Have a fantastic and productive week. Joseph will be back in the next, I think, 2 or so weeks. I know you're missing him already. He'll be back soon time. Have a great one, Grenada. Bye-bye.